everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Spartan Sports Report. And we're very happy to have the athletic director at CHS with us, Andrea Van Meter. Andrea, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Are you doing well?
I'm doing pretty well this week. It's still Monday, but this week I'm doing pretty well.
Lady Spartan's doing pretty well.
Lady Spartans are playing pretty
Played
well.
4 games, 3-1.
They're 3-1, going into a little stretch of some downtime, but like I tell them, that's it, because after this, it's 2 to 3 games a week for the rest of the season. So
We'll take that.
take it while you have it and enjoy, I guess.
Shanna's, I'm very impressed, I'll bet, with the ladies Spartans.
Yep, they're playing really well. You can see they're still making early mistakes, like every team will be, but I think with them being young and wanting to try the best they can every single game, they're doing some great things. And I think the coaching staff is really excited. They're taking what the coaches are teaching them in practice and putting it into the game, and it was fun. It's fun to watch. They played Saturday at Shenandoah.
Yes.
And the first quarter was, they started off slow and then never turned back. And it was a really good game.
62-36, I believe, was the final score, something like that.
Yes, I think so, yeah, like 27-point game.
Shenandoah new to the schedule?
We played them last year. We played them before. Shenandoah is usually a pretty tough team. We were looking at the banners there in the gym while we were there on Saturday, and they've been to the semi-state and state championship a couple times back in the early 2000s. So, I mean, they're a decent program. They had some decent girls. They just couldn't handle our pressure, our defense.
Yes.
Couldn't stop our scores. Couldn't find a way to stop Serenity and Kendall. And so, I mean, it was nice to see.
Defense is so important in basketball.
Yes, it is. And they tried. They came out trying to press. Shenandoah did, and I think our girls knew what type of press they were coming up against, the 2-2-1, and passed their way right through it and scored some really easy baskets to the point where Shenandoah kind of gave up on pressing. But you never know. You never know what a team's going to do when they press.
Well, that's where our speed
absolutely
breaks that press pretty quickly. And one thing that impressed me when we did the ball game, the opening game of the season against New Palestine was that speed and the way that they just disrupted New Palestine's offense with so many steals.
Yeah, and I think the arms, they play with their arms and like their full body. You know, they're trying to get in passing lanes and they're anticipating passing lanes, and they kind of you can tell that they've practiced where that pass is going to happen in those different press situations, so they know what to anticipate from other teams. But yeah, defensively, our girls are playing very well. Offensively, though, they're throwing some shots up there too that are competing and allowing them to get in places in games that put them up a couple points, to give them a little bit of a chance to take a deep breath and
second and third opportunities.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lady Spartans JV team, how are they doing?
They're playing pretty well. I think they've only suffered 1 defeat as well, and that would have been to Franklin Central as well. They beat Shenandoah with the last-second three-pointer by Kylie McHenry.
Oh, wow.
Banked that bad boy right into the basket. Put the girls up by 2. So actually, she scored the last basket of the JV game to win, and then she got a three-pointer in the varsity game as well in the last quarter that she was in. So playing well. They're young.
Yes.
You know, your oldest girl on there, some sophomores, and lots of ball handlers, which is a good thing to have. I mean, the varsity team has quite a few guards, so there's just not enough space for all of them on the varsity team right now. So they're getting a lot of playing time, a lot of experience, playing hard. Coach Perry and Coach Brown really are on those girls to work hard, and it look like they have fun out there. They really do.
Talk about team chemistry. You hear that people will say they have a lot of chemistry. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, being a science person, you know, chemistry is how things go together to me, like how they work. And I think the girls have that chemistry because they're so similar in age. They want the same things. A lot of them have played at the other level, so they're not just high school basketball players. They've also played AAU. And so they bring everything that they've had from the outside in and just kind of mesh. They find each other's strengths, you know. Serenity is really great at setting up and shooting a three-pointer. You know, Addie's great at the ball fake and making passes on the inside. You know, Kendall is great at crashing the board. You know, Anaya was hurt on Saturday. She got hurt at Southport, well, Decatur Central. But, she's flying up and down the lanes and getting open and causing people chaos. They're not used to playing against somebody they don't know how to stop. J.C. Wilhelm and Kenzie Van Meter, both of them inside kind of, making those plays that not everybody else is going to
Yes.
make. They're not going to be necessarily that standout kid all the time. They're going to make that stop, or they're going to put that shot back up that people don't see. I think that's kind of how their chemistry works. They all know what they need to do, but putting it all together, they found a way to kind of do
They're
that.
not
And it's
selfish.
Kind of early. They're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, they all know what the end goal is, and they work together very, very well. That's what impressed me when we saw them, and hopefully we'll do a lot more games and see that gel a whole lot more.
Well, Maddie Harrison came in on Saturday, and Maddie's played a little bit of varsity here and there over the
Yes.
past couple of years, and she just came in and got this big rebound and put it back up for a shot, and then she got an and one, and it was just kind of like, where's she been? That little redheaded spunky kid just running around, crashing boards, finding the ball that
Yes.
usually you're expecting your big kids that are blocking out to get, and here she comes. And so, everybody's got a spot. So it's pretty fun to watch.
Nothing like winning builds confidence.
It definitely does. And I think taking that hit against Franklin Central, Decatur Central was tough, because it was, it's tough to go out and play 2 games back to back and, work your tail off and then just not be able to pull the pieces together. But sometimes that keeps you human, and getting those setbacks early kind of helps push that success
Sure.
forward. And they're going to have a tough game on Tuesday. They play Northeastern. Northeastern will be coming to town on the 26th, and Northeastern's pretty good.
Is that a new school?
No,
to
we
us?
played them. The girls played them last year, towards the end of the year. They played them in December last year. This
Okay.
game's a little bit earlier. But they're going to bang them around. They're going to shoot. They're going to challenge them. They're going to run them up and down the floor. And our girls know a lot of those girls, and sometimes that makes it hard, especially when you play AAU with some of them. So I think that's going to be a challenge. I mean, hopefully we have a good crowd that comes out and supports them and cheers our girls on. But those are the fun games.
Northeastern is a Class A school, 2A.
I think they're 2A.
Yeah.
I think they're 2A now.
okay.
They're probably a pretty high
They
2A
play
now.
more than 2A, or they act more than 2A. They're basketball and their other sports, same way.
Yeah, I think they're a higher 2A.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
they're a lot of
I
the
think
outskirts of Richmond.
Yeah.
They pull some of the kids from Hagerstown, the Randolph
they're
schools.
Fountain City.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Well, it's good to have them on the schedule.
It is, and it'll be a good game. They were tough last year, and I think they're going to be just as tough this year to play. So a good challenge to come back to right there before Thanksgiving for the girls.
Let's look at the girls basketball. As we said, they beat Shenandoah 62-36, and they're 3-1 on this season. And the JV girls, there's their score, 39-37. That was a close one.
It was a very close one. Like I said, they went up one with 3 seconds left, I think, or 5 seconds left, and Kylie McHenry went down and banked that
Yeah,
three-pointer in and took them up by 2.
She called bank too, didn't she?
I think so. I think she
has
did.
to, yeah.
Okay, Andrea, varsity will be getting this Saturday on November the 23rd at Lawrence North. It's invite.
So wrestling starts this Saturday. Coach Cassidy is our new head of wrestling. I'm going to say football. Wrestling coach.
Yeah.
He was our middle school coach last year, and so him and Coach Lemon will be leading our, I think, 23, 25 kiddos that we
wow.
have part of the program. So definitely a big program. Heading to Lawrence North, very tough competition. Playing a lot of our wrestling against a lot of your 4A, 5A schools. So it's tough. It's one that you have to be prepared for, and I hope the boys are training, and I know Coach Cassidy will get them in the shape that they need to.
The wrestling team has been doing pretty well over the past years.
They have had a lot of seniors that have graduated over the past couple of years. I think right now we only have 3 upperclassmen, 2 seniors and a junior, I think. So we're very young, but we have a lot of experience. A lot of these kiddos have been wrestling since they've been 3rd and 4th grade. So Coach Cassidy and Coach Lemon, and of course the crew. I think there's like 9 or 10 volunteer coaches that help down there to work with these kiddos. Have a challenge, but when we got some kiddos that can could probably turn some heads this year. So
Tell us about the Classic coming up during the holidays.
Classic is this year, it's Friday, Saturday, so December 27th and 28th. This year we currently have 39 teams. We were trying to expand to 40. We're going to run 2 gyms, so we'll have 4 in the Spartan Bowl and 2 in the arena. We just can't stop, we just have to keep going and getting bigger. Partly, though, for the number of teams is we're having a hard time filling brackets. Some of the teams aren't full with their full 13, 14 kids. So we struggle with getting a full bracket, and we don't want kids to have to travel this far to have buys. So we thought we would have 3 championship mats in the bowl, and then the other 3, there'll be 1, and then the other 2 in the arena would be more of like consolation.
Yes.
So maybe not last as long. I mean, I know a lot of people love to be there all day, but when you've been in a gym with 300 plus wrestlers and 500 plus people and coaches and food and that.
It's a long time.
It's a long day, and it's 2 long days of, 12, 14-hour days. And so hoping to move it along, get to see some great wrestling, great matches. We've got some teams coming back that I guess used to be here in the past. So looking forward to that again.
Sure.
It's a great time. The bowl's packed. Hopefully we don't have to deal with snow and all that weather and stuff. Can definitely stay away.
Some of the teams come from far away, don't they?
We do. We actually have a couple teams that come from up closer to Chicago. There's a team from River Forest. I think their drive is about 3.5, 4 hours. Valpo.
Yes.
Some of those teams come. Some southern states, Switzerland County, Southern Wells. So they're from all over the place. And then, of course, you got Hagerstown and Franklin County that are close.
Yes.
So they're being generous in letting us borrow their mats this year. So we can have the 2 mats.
How that event has grown over the years.
Well, I believe Mr. Cirquis started it about 50 years ago when he was a coach here.
Yes.
And I think it started with, 8 teams, and then they went to 12 and 16, and I think his biggest was in the 24s, and then I think the number was 32 was like the max number, and then of course we decided, why not? Let's add some more.
Well, see, if you hit 40, then you'll go, why not? Let's hit 50.
Well, I feel like 40 works with the numbers that we need based on the wrestling gurus to kind of fill the brackets. We're still going to have what they call piggyback rounds to kind of wrestle to get into the bracket, but we do give each kid 2 matches. So we guarantee at least 2 matches for each kid.
It starts at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Usually we try to start at 9 if we don't have any technical difficulties. And then the first day usually goes until about 5, and then we start up again the next morning at 9 and usually end around 2 or 3 the next day.
At middle school basketball, there are 4 teams, 2 white teams and 2 red teams in 7th and 8th grades, and they don't play against each other, do they? They play.
Correct. So this year we've done something a little bit different. So when Coach Mack started last year, he's a big proponent of working hard for your position, but you got to keep your position, and you got to continue to work hard all season. You can't just say I'm on varsity and stay on varsity. Like, you could move down to JV and move up. And so knowing that the numbers were going to be a little bit smaller this year with basketball for some reason, I'm not sure. We did have tryouts for the middle school teams, and at the end of those tryouts, the kiddos that we felt were going to, or the coaches felt that were going to compete, were kept on a team. Instead of necessarily classifying a red and a white team this year, it's kind of 7th grade and 8th grade.
Yes.
But they are playing 2 schedules. So there are some schools out there that, are a little smaller than us that we would play more of our white team. So like a Union Modoc, a Cambridge City Lincoln, maybe a smaller Muncie school. And then you've got some of your bigger schools like your Shelbyville, your Noblesville, Eastern Hancocks that have, 50 boys or whatever. Right. And so that way we would play like more of a red schedule. So depending on how they're practicing, how they're progressing, will depend on what kids are going each evening. So like for tonight, we have a white, I think it's 7th grade white is playing tonight. And so they're playing against Muncie Inspire Academy or something. So what'll happen is those 8 to 10 boys will dress.
Yes.
And while the other boys are still there, they won't dress and play.
So is the red team sort of like the varsity of middle school?
I guess you would call it, like kind of like the A team, B team, I guess you would say it.
Yeah.
That's how they've kind of separated. The girls lost their red and white team a couple years ago. We just haven't had the numbers to have 2 girls teams. It's hard to find teams. A lot of the teams only have 1. So
Yes.
our white team will play one school 1 week, and then the next they'll go.
And that's just
the
not.
next.
And that we've talked about this in the past shows about the numbers across all sports is down.
Sure.
And you're finding that with all schools.
Yes, all schools. I mean, just enrollment in general in the schools are going down. Some are growing, of course, but and I think new sports and travel sports and club sports, those types of things take over as well because kids would rather do that than.
How much
maybe
is
play home.
homeschooling affected?
We haven't really had it. Well, Connorsville, as of right now, Connorsville does not allow homeschool kiddos to participate in athletics. I did find out with our conference that that's a little different. Some of them do. If they take one class within the school day at Connorsville, that they could take one.
Oh, wow.
Not all of them do. I think us in Franklin County, and I believe South Dearborn's getting ready to do that, do not allow homeschools. The rest of them do. Which I think that gets kind of a little hairy trying to figure out how that works and how you keep the money and everything accounted for. So, I mean, it's a little, I think it can be done. And I don't think that that's necessarily something that's off the table, but
And
there are a lot of
universal
homeschool.
rule?
No,
Wow.
the state doesn't say that. It's up to the homeschool on what they want to do in their policy.
Wow.
Like I know I came from Hagerstown and they allowed homeschool kiddos to participate as long as they took one class in the school building. So they were funded. So Hagerstown got funded for that 1/7 of a day for that kiddo.
Wow.
So, I mean, because if you think about it, the school's paying for, transportation and facilities. So if that kid is homeschool and not paying anything towards the school.
Yes.
Right,
So,
that makes
but
sense.
then you got taxes that go in there too. So there's all kinds of different sides to it. So political, however you want to be. I'm not getting into that.
No. That's way over my head.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Are all the home games played at Spartan Arena?
For middle school?
Yes.
Yes, most of them are all there. We do have a tournament coming up in December where we also have a boys basketball game at home against Winchester. So the middle school is going to split. So they think the 8th grade's going to go out and play at the field house.
Oh.
The 7th grade will play in the arena, and then the varsity boys will be playing in the bowl. So most of the time, though, they do play in the arena.
What's the seating capacity of the new field house?
It's a great question, Fran. I really don't know
You've
that
never
answer.
counted the
I don't
seats?
think I've ever counted the seats. It's not enough.
Yes.
I honestly don't know that answer because I think it just depends on how many courts you use.
Yeah.
I would say probably 350
Well,
is probably
that's
what
good,
you could get
yes.
in there. A lot of people bring their own chairs to sit in comfortably because aluminum bleachers aren't very comfortable.
I've never thought when we travel to other places, like if we travel to Lawrence North or if we travel to wherever we travel to, I always put in the high school. Of course, when people come to play our basketball games, and we've had a few teams go to
Show
the
up,
high school, and we've had to start games late, but I think are we one of the rare ones that plays the high school games at the middle school technically?
I would say probably that I know of. I think there's probably a few that might, but I mean, every week when I send out where we're playing, I have to make sure that I put the address for the middle school and remind them we're not playing at the high school, so they know. But yes, some of them don't. I mean, I forgot Muncie Central played us in volleyball this year for the first time in a long time. Well, volleyball used to play in the old gym.
Yes.
And they'd play in the field house now. And so their bus driver dropped them off over by the tennis courts.
Oh, wow.
And the girls walked around from behind because they're used to playing over in the older gym. And just something that never, I never thought of because since I've been at Connorsville back, it's been in the field house.
Right.
So things you don't think about that you have to remember to tell people.
Did they get mad at you?
No.
Oh, good.
They were fine because it was air conditioned. So they were good.
That's right. Yeah.
Important date for the basketball team coming up, November the 23rd, a scrimmage on Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, the boys start
Spartan
this
Bowl.
Saturday. Spartan Bowl. Muncie Central's on a new scrimmage opponent. We've been scrimmaging Knightstown the past couple years. Coach Mack wanted to see somebody different. So they'll be here 11 a.m. and we'll be doing a 5-quarter scrimmage. So the JV will do the middle scrimmage. So it'll be 2 varsity, a JV, and then 2 more varsity. Running clocks, no fouls until the last minute when they stop the clock. So just a good chance to come out, watch the boys, see what they've got, kind of see how they've been working, give them a chance to beat up on somebody other than themselves, because they're
Yes.
definitely beating each other up, sore ankles and wrists and everything. But I mean, when you're trying to make a team, you got to work hard, right?
That's right.
Now, do we play Muncie Central during the regular season?
We do not this
Okay.
year.
Okay.
No. Yes.
I don't think we
Yes,
do.
I think we do. I think we did add them to the
I
regular
think we
season.
did, yes.
I think we did add them. I think we added them to the girls and the boys. Or maybe we tried to add them to the regular season. You again, Fran, you're quizzing me today.
Yeah.
I think no. I think we added them as a scrimmage. We added them to the girls' schedule. We tried to get them on the boys' schedule, but we couldn't get
Couldn't
it
make
to
it.
work.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we were trying to do that one. So we
Any
settled for
admission
the
charge
scrimmage.
to the scrimmage?
No admission. We allow people to just kind of come to the scrimmage and watch, just to see. Kind of our freebie for you to come. Eat concessions, but
Right, yeah.
come and watch.
Spend the money on the concessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy some drinks.
Yeah.
How long do the scrimmage sessions usually last?
I think the max they're allowed to last is 2 hours, but usually about 90 minutes. So I think they're 12-minute running clocks,
Right.
but really not running with 4 minutes in between. So you're looking around 90 minutes total from start to finish.
How do the practice sessions work out with the boys and the girls teams? Do they alternate Spartan Bowl or what?
So I think every season I've been here, it's been different. I know when we were in school, it was girls practice from 4 to 6, boys practice from 6 to 8, and then you flip-flopped at the bowl. Now that we have the field house and no one wants to practice late, they kind of go back and forth between the bowl and the field
Okay.
house. So for example, tonight the boys are at the bowl from 4 to 6. The girls are practicing at the field house from about 3:30 to 5 o'clock, since they have 10 days off. But both coaches sit down and work out the schedule for the season. So we just basically say you guys are the ones who dictate it. So you tell us when you're practicing, when you're shooting, when
Makes
you're
sense.
warming up for games, and then we put that in, and then everyone else gets to fill in around that. So middle school usually does the arena when they can between boys and girls. Then we have the field house for boys and girls, and then of course the old gym. And then it goes to dirt road teams, the little boys that play 3rd grade all the way up, or 2nd grade all the way up, and then Parks and Rec want to come in. So, but our girls and boys teams dictate that schedule.
Fieldhouse is a great addition, wasn't it?
It is a great addition, but you would think with 3 extra courts we would have a lot of room, and we just don't. This time of year, we just don't. It's Tetris every single day.
It's time to get a bigger field house.
You're going to build that for me, Ron?
I was hoping.
I need
when
about
that-
5 courts.
Maybe we can get another T-Mobile
T-Mobile,
thing.
that would be
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be great.
5 more courts. Yeah.
5 more courts. We
Yeah.
just need some indoor places. That's our issue. Is we've got a lot of like softball and baseball want to come in this time of
Yes.
year,
Oh,
and
yeah, right,
football,
yeah,
but there's
yeah.
really the batting cages are only on certain floors, and so trying to find space for everybody is hard, especially with the
Right.
rules. So.
Yeah.
Swimming is right around the corner.
Swimming starts. They are traveling to Mount Vernon this weekend. In the first meet of the year, there's 15 swimmers. We have 8 girls and 7 boys. I believe we have 4 divers, so we didn't have diving last
Good.
year. So they're going to go to Mount Vernon, and I think their motto again this year is going to be small but mighty. The numbers aren't big enough to probably field every single event, but I think the events that we do swim in or dive in will be in good shape. So that's a good thing for our kids.
Who's coaching swimming?
So our boys head coach is Stephen Kiefaber. We got him to come back. And
Sure.
then Lindsay Keel is our girls coach. And then Quentin Jones has taken over the diving program for us. So, and we also have middle school swimming going on this time of
Oh,
year as
good.
well. So they're swimming the same season this year. But they start Saturday. Looking forward to them getting going. They're kind of fun to watch. Swimming is just a whole different mentality. I mean,
Well, Carmel's the team to beat.
well, yeah. I mean, they're
They've won
there.
like 30-something.
That's kind of your, your Olympic. If you can beat Carmel, you're an Olympian, right?
Right, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
There are 4 winter sports. The other one is gymnastics. And that has a late beginning.
They actually start. Yes, they started practice today. So
They
they're
have
first.
a preview night, I believe, in December.
We do a preview night there in December, and then we start our actual meets in January.
Yes, yes.
So, and we host all but 2, I think, this year.
And the coach will be?
Coach Borders, Coach Joanne, she'll be there, and talked to her today. She wanted to make sure the girls knew the practice was today, and Just a staple in Connorsville history right there,
That's
isn't
right.
she?
Yeah, yeah. That's I don't. That's it's going to be weird when you can't even think of the day
No.
will come without her being a part of it.
It's I mean, she's just been here for so many years, and everybody knows her, and the
Yes.
gymnastics world knows her, and
Yeah.
she'll do anything and everything she can to keep that program going at every school. I mean, we've got
Yeah.
5 other schools competing with us this year just to keep gymnastics alive in
Yes.
their schools, and she's part of that because those kids come and train with her.
Gymnastics has really fallen off.
It has. I think there's only a total of 65 schools in the
Yes.
state that offer gymnastics.
Wow.
And I don't know if that's full schools or if it's just like the little piecemeal schools as well. So it's kind of sad, but I mean, it's a dangerous sport, just like
Yeah.
a lot of them are. It takes a beating on your body.
And
Sure
doesn't
does.
it require quite a bit of equipment?
Yes, I think that's part of it. The
Yes.
insurance and the equipment costs to keep that going is pretty high. I mean, you're looking at a $5,000 pommel horse, or not
Oh,
a pommel
yeah.
horse, but a vault horse, and then you're looking at the balance beam that
Yes.
you're looking at probably 10, 12 grand, and then all the support mats and the flooring and just the time those kids and their parents take to set that equipment up before a meet and then take it down
Yes.
right after.
It's not called a pommel horse.
Well, the pommel horse is the one that has like
Oh, the bars.
the bars, and you spin
Yeah.
around.
Oh,
This
yeah,
was the
okay.
vault, like the
The vault,
vaulting.
yeah, where you
the
jump
vault.
and
Yeah, the
stuff.
vault.
Yeah.
I call it a horse,
Yeah.
but the vault.
And the guys
Sorry,
do the
not
pommels,
gymnastics.
the
That's
girls
okay.
don't. Yeah.
Sure.
I
Yes,
think
you're
so,
right.
something like it. Yeah.
Now, are those in the old gym at CHS?
Yes. So Joanne stores a lot of the equipment at her gym over the spring and summer, and then we keep the floor and the carpet and some of the things out in our storage shed on campus, and then about October we move everything into the old gym, and so they compete there in the old gym. I know in the past we've had the sectionals down at the bowl,
Yes.
but I think the problem is it takes so much legwork to carry everything
I
down
believe the
there.
mats is a big problem, isn't it?
Mats, the floor pieces are really wobbly and heavy. It's just a lot to ask for a small team and a small group of people
Yes.
to do that. And in the days you could get people to help, but
Yeah.
that whole like, I'll help if you need me sometimes runs out. So she likes keeping it in that gym. It's small. It's personable.
Yeah,
I
and she
think
probably just knows how to put it
she
together so
does.
quickly.
And
yeah.
everything is right
Yeah.
where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered all the winter sports.
Yep.
So you have any news for us?
Well, next week we are going to have our first ever Connorsville Athletics Hall of Fame induction. That'll be between the JV and varsity games on Wednesday. We have 10 inductees this year, and I happen to be lucky to be sitting
I know.
beside
We
one.
are.
How
We're
awesome is that?
With the legend.
You don't know how much I appreciate that. I
That
really
is
do.
so awesome. So we have 10 inductees
Yes.
this first round. And so we're looking forward to seeing them, their families. We've heard from quite a few of them. Some of them are unable to come. Some of them have deceased. But there will be someone there, hopefully for everyone. There's one that we're still looking for. So if anyone has any information on Mose Pruitt, we're still looking for next of kin or someone to come and represent him. But that'll start between the games. So you can kind of come and socialize. We'll have some seating for the honorees to sit, and people can talk during the JV game. I would suggest come early. You can buy your tickets on EventLink ahead of time. You can buy them at the gate, and we're also going to be taking credit cards at the door. So we're going to try to do that to get people in a little bit faster.
Yes.
It's a big game. It's a big night. So if you want a seat, you're going to have to come early because we're not doing. Unfortunately, we can't do reservations. We're not a college or a professional venue, but we'd love to see everybody come help us induct these 10
And they
wonderful
can-
people.
And if they're having trouble, they can get into the lift inside
Yep, we
the
have
tunnel.
we have a lift to take people downstairs as well. But come celebrate Fran and take pictures with him. Maybe get an interview with him.
Are you kidding me? I can't believe I asked you, knowing you'd be busy. He won't let me interview him at all.
Andrea, thanks a lot for joining
Absolutely.
us. We really appreciate
Yes, I
taking
cut
time
that
out
off.
from your busy schedule to stop by and bring us up to date on Spartan Sports.
Absolutely, thanks, Fran.
Thanks, everybody, for watching this edition of the Spartan Sports Report on TV3, and you have a nice evening.